on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1202. That's right. Episode number 1202 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. The Walking with Purpose Live edition, live today from Red Morton Park. Today is day 34. I thought it was yesterday. Yesterday was 33. I made a mistake on this show, but today is day 34 of the GNA Positivity Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about barely hanging on to relevancy. We're going to be discussing people that are barely hanging on to relevancy. For example, like on a platform like we're on here, YouTube. And when they realize that they're barely hanging on to relevancy, they start behaving in some very bizarre and odd ways. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Babe, how you doing? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Dawn is in the house. First one here. Hey, babe, how are you? Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? Put a 1 in the chat. It's 50 degrees. I got my gloves on. And we're only going to be doing 2 laps. Again tonight, my lady says 1, all is well. Don and I both hope that you've had a great start to your weekend. We've had a great start to ours. We had a very productive day. Got a lot of stuff done. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Tia, I don't think you were there live yesterday, but if you haven't had a chance to watch the replay of the GLM show from last night, it was pretty good. Don and I were on for like 3.5 hours. I think the show was like a total of 3 hours and 45 minutes. Hey, Tia. She said, hi, Eli. It was a great show, and a lot of stuff was said that needed to be said, and we corrected a lot of the record last night. My lady Dawn says, hey, Tia, how are you doing? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Yeah. Yeah, so today we're talking about barely hanging on to relevancy. And like I've been saying recently here on the channel, when people on the internet, including or especially out here on YouTube, continue to talk about me and state things that are not true and make threats to me and do other things, I'm going to correct the record. I'm going to do it respectfully, but I'm going to correct the record, right? That doesn't mean I'm upset. That doesn't mean I'm triggered. I'm not. That doesn't mean I've done anything wrong. I haven't. What it means is that whenever any person attacks you at the level that this one female creator on the platform has been attacking me for a few years now and continues to do it to this day and continues to make threats of lawsuits and all of that. We'll get into that in just a little bit, right? She's doing that because she's barely hanging on to relevancy, in my opinion. She's barely hanging on to relevancy, and she knows it. And the interesting thing is, the people that are supposedly a part of her group are nowhere to be found. They're staying quiet. They're not even making community postings. So she's probably beginning to feel a little bit alone in her mission of constantly trying to destroy my reputation out here and using that as content and monetizing my name and likeness in every way possible, right? So I'm not going to mention her name here. I did mention her name on the GLM show last night. No big deal, doesn't matter. I just don't want to give her any algorithmic reach by mentioning her name. And that way YouTube can't tie our channels together, right? And that's another thing that's been working quite well. Not mentioning names of these people, YouTube won't tie the channels together, at least not as much, right? So this woman, for those of you that are new, or just as a recap, I'm in the middle of a circuit civil case. I've sued another YouTuber that's been harassing me and defaming me, and he's been doing a lot of other things, violating my civil rights, my legal rights. And we've been in the lawsuit for 3 months now. And this other woman that's a part of his network, a few years back, this guy's been doing it to me for the last 6+ years. I've known him longer, but he's been coming at me in defamatory ways and other aspects for over 6 years. And this other woman that lives in the same state as the defendant in the case of the YouTuber I'm suing, she lives in Florida as well. And she basically, a couple years ago, like 2.5 years ago, she realized that there's an audience of Eli haters that will pay any creator money as long as they keep talking about me. Or as long as someone keeps talking about me, right? So she jumped on that bandwagon. Here we are, 2.5 years later. And she's still doing whatever she can to come at me because her relevancy on the platform is 100% dependent on it, in my opinion. Her relevancy is 100% dependent on continuing to harass me, defame me, help the defendant in the circuit civil case that I'm suing, help him amplify his defamation. The defendant made a song accusing me of embezzlement, right? And they made a parody song out of it using my likeness. And she's been spreading that video around like there's no tomorrow. Like she even spread it around again today. Now, before I get into what this woman mentioned in her videos today, including more threats of suing me and stuff like that, let me give you folks a little bit of context that I mentioned on the GLM show last night. I'll put it out on my channel publicly. So 4 days ago, if we go back like 5 days ago, this woman started to do live streams and use large portions of my content and stretch those portions of my content into 2-3 hours worth of her content. That is absolutely not fair use. And the first day she did it, I think it was like 5 days ago, she deleted the stream and re-uploaded it to Rumble. So when I realized the very next day she continued to use large portions of my content and stretching out her content into hours based on my content, right, and monetizing it, with the super chat on, getting super chats for it and other donations and all that, I decided to file a DMCA copyright takedown on her while she was live because I knew she was going to delete it, right? So I filed the DMCA copyright takedown. YouTube basically ended her stream, gave her a copyright strike, and because that copyright takedown happened during an active live stream, she has been disabled from streaming for 7 days. And right now, I believe this is like the third or fourth day. She has like 3 or 4 more days before she can stream again, right? So then she went over to Rumble, started streaming over there. So what did I do? I filed 3 copyright takedowns on her Rumble channel. Rumble took them down. I then filed 3 more, and Rumble took them down. Now, I don't know if they've restricted her channel because she hasn't gone live there. Maybe her channel's restricted over there. And with 6 copyright strikes, Rumble's system works different than YouTube's. With 6 copyright strikes, her channel is probably very near repeat infringer termination status. Now, first of all, this is my content, it's my copyright. And when people use large portions to stretch out a live stream for 2 or 3 hours to keep an audience around and to keep getting super chats and other donations, that is basically monetizing my content and using my name and likeness for profit. And that's why I've asserted my copyrights and I've filed. Okay? So now, over the last couple days, this woman has not gone live on Rumble. I'm assuming she's probably restricted from uploading or at least going live on Rumble. She's restricted on going live on YouTube for at least 3 or 4 more days. She's still able to post and able to upload pre-recorded videos, and that's what she's been doing. She's using the one last option for the time being that she has currently until her restrictions are removed. But in those pre-recorded videos, she's continuing to play the defamatory video. She's continuing to make cartoons that are very hateful and defamatory to myself and my girlfriend, right? She's continued to escalate instead of de-escalate. My God, that whole family just spread across. I had to walk on the street in order for me to walk on by. Wow. So she continues to escalate instead of de-escalate. Now, the person that I'm suing, he hasn't completely stopped, but he has de-escalated by a mile. Hey, Angels, how you doing? That was a great stream with all of you last night. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. How are you doing, Angel? Says Tia. So, I want to talk about a few things that this woman said in her stream. Oh, not in her stream, in her video today, because she can't stream. She's been disabled. Now I'm going to mention some other things because she's taken some, in my opinion, I believe she is out there massively flagging channels. I'll say this. And he didn't say I couldn't talk about it, but ODN's secondary channel got flagged on 2 videos. He was able to appeal one, and the other one stuck. So ODN has not been able to use his secondary channel for streaming, for video uploads or posting for a week. And now we don't have any proof, but we highly assume it's this woman that's flagging him because she's the only one that has all day, every day, and cares enough to try to defeat her opponents that disagree with her behavior and her actions, you know. The only way she feels she can defeat people is by taking their channels down. Now, here's the thing. You violate the guidelines, you violate the guidelines. So, I mean, ODN understands that, right? And that's why I'm telling people, when it comes to this woman, she's trying to upset you so badly to the point of where you say certain key words and then she flags you. Let me tell you something. This woman knows exactly what words will automatically take a video down. She knows it. She says things to try, in my opinion, she says things to try to get you to react and say those words. And then she timestamp files bullying and harassment or hateful and abusive content with the timestamp and specific wording that automatically triggers manual review. She has taken down many channels lately and gotten many channels to receive community guideline violations. All because of the harmful and hateful things she's saying, and other people are just responding to her. And they're fed up with her that they overreact, and then she flags them for their rightful reaction to her. And then they get a strike. I will never ever let these people do that to me. I will never let them do that to me. That's why I'll respond to correct the record, but I'll do it respectfully, and I'm not going to even insult them. I'm not going to say anything that could be considered hateful or harmful. Okay? Now, again, in my opinion, I believe it was her. She knows it's her. She's out to get people because she doesn't love herself. In my opinion, she doesn't love herself. She's a miserable human being, in my opinion. She's miserable. So what makes her happy is taking out her opponents through platform enforcement tools, right? But then when people do the same thing to her, like me, where she clearly violates all the guidelines of terms of service and copyright, when people like me hold her accountable, she goes and whines and complains and then threatens to sue me. Oh, here's the thing, ma'am. Instead of continuing to threaten to sue me, just do it. I've already told you. You can sue me for whatever you want, as long as you file it in the proper jurisdiction here in San Mateo County, right? You can sue me. I expect you to sue me because that's the type of person you've led myself and many others to believe through your past actions. You're very litigious primarily as your YouTube content. As far as having a leg to stand on regarding what you sue for, that's a different story, right? I wait for you to sue me to try to say I breached the settlement agreement that I never did. The settlement agreement read, again, like I said on the GLM show last night, we both agree to run a business with a similar name, and there will not now nor ever will be any copyright or trademark infringement on the business. That's what that meant. I never granted you a lifetime exclusive license to use any of my current or future content. That's not what that means. You know that's not what that means. You have no other leg to stand on. You are losing the YouTube optics war to me, and you need something to throw back that you think your audience is going to believe. I don't care about what the people on YouTube believe. I care about what the court of law is going to say about this. And you and I both know that's never going to fly in court. But if you want to sue me and make YouTube content out of it, I'll make the same YouTube content as you, but I'll do it professionally. And when you lose that case, I'll make everyone aware of how much more of a vexatious litigant you have already proven yourself to be, right? Okay. So first things first. Okay, just because you put screenshots out there that say, you are in a case. First of all, that old case from 2023, you need to file a new case in 2025, or if you're going to do it next year, it's 2026. You cannot refile back into the same case regarding the settlement offer. If you want to sue me over that, you have to file a new case, a new small claims case. The screenshot that you showed was the old case number that's dead. You can't refile back into a closed case. The case was dismissed without prejudice. That means you and I can both reopen the case with a different case. We can sue again for the same thing. That doesn't mean we can't reopen the same case. We can sue again for the same thing. That's what you're going to have to do. You want to do that? Go ahead, file it, and I'd be happy to accept service. I'd be happy to even sign a waiver of service. I'd be willing to sign a waiver of service because you want to hire Twiggy again to come and serve me for YouTube theatrics. I'll tell you, if you do that again, if you do that a third time, then you and Twiggy will both be in court over that. Because Twiggy's already being implicated in the current case with the person I'm suing that you're supposedly buddies with, when realistically neither one of you care about the other. All you both care about is the money and the keeping the relevancy and the money and the attention going, right? So yeah. And then I'll just countersue you, depending on what court you file. I'll countersue you. And I've got a lot of evidence. So, yeah, I'm ready for that. Also, you need to serve GLM. You filed the case, and you haven't even served her in a case that you filed. Angel, would you be interested in maybe going on our podcast? Oh, that's nice. Nice, Don. I think it would be so good to actually tell the story with someone kind of interviewing you. I don't know. As you can see, I have been thinking about it a lot since last night. I'd be very happy to share the story. But here's the thing. This is my story. And I'm going to monetize this story because I've lost a lot of money based on what these people have done. I've lost a lot of money and a lot of opportunities. Now, I'm not suing for loss of income in this case because that's hard to prove. But everyone knows I've lost a lot of money. So if I were to ever do a story regarding this and be interviewed by someone else and have someone else, do the documentary or whatever, it would be on a contract. And it's all you, Eli. Absolutely. Yeah. I guess it's all me. Angels Asylum says, sure, Don. We'll reach out to you in the new year. For the rest of the year, Don and I are not going to do any interviews. There's just a lot going on. So in the new year, we're going to reach out to you. Cool. We will work it out with Eli. Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate that. So yeah, if you're going to sue me, then sue me. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's whether you do it or not, it's all for YouTube theatrics. You're losing your relevancy and you are trying to keep the fire going regarding the Eli haters. And as you can tell, even they're beginning to be like, or they're beginning to see that this is stupid, right? Beginning to realize that you put your entire stake of your YouTube relevancy evolving around catering content to my haters. And when you can't do that, or if you're disabled from live streaming on both platforms, nobody's watching you. Right? And I have the right to protect my intellectual property. You are abusing my intellectual property. You are breaking the law. And I do have 3 years to sue you in federal court, whether I do it now or not. Even if the counter notification gets reinstated, you can gloat about it. See, it's obvious that if I don't sue you within 14 days or 10 business days, 14 total days. If I don't sue you by then, YouTube will reinstate the video. But you like to make a big facade about every little thing, right? It's stupid. It's absolutely dumb, right? Second of all, the GLM stream last night. I can go on YouTube and talk about whatever I want to whoever I want. You're going to come publicly in a video and threaten the fact that, I'm going to give the plaintiff a copy of GLM's video. And then, what is the court going to think about this, right? The court doesn't care about this stuff. And here's the thing. The video is still publicly available. He can download it himself just like you did. I downloaded it. And if he wants, I'll send him a copy of it. Right? You see, here's the thing, ma'am. You're upset because you're losing the YouTube optics war. You are losing your relevancy. Put a 1 in the chat if you folks believe that this woman is losing her relevancy. Put a 1 in the chat. They're all losing their relevancy because they've been stuck on stupid for so long. My lady says 1, right? Here's the thing, ma'am. Here's the thing. If you continue to sue me, if you want to sue me, and you want to use it as a YouTube spectacle, I will tell you. Then I'll use your lawsuit as, my content on how you fraudulently sued me again for YouTube optics. It's the truth of the matter. See, here's the thing, ma'am. You care more about YouTube optics than the court of law. You use the court of law to try to, give you the advantage for YouTube optics. But it doesn't work anymore. You know why? Because I know your game. I know your MO. I know your motive of operation. It's the same old song and dance, right? When you start losing control and someone else, has you pegged on exactly what you're doing, like I pegged it last night perfectly. And you didn't like that. You don't like the truth because the truth, ma'am, puts you out of business. The truth puts you out of business and you lose the YouTube optics war, which I'm not playing the war of optics, but you are, right? And since you are affecting You're trying to affect my reputation out here. And since you're trying to affect my reputation out here, then I'm going to correct the record and you will lose the YouTube optics war every time. You can make all the threats you want. Keep threatening court. I told you, I want you to sue me. Go ahead and sue me. I'm waiting for your lawsuit. Send me a waiver of service, and I'll sign that. I'll serve myself. You don't have to even pay a process server. I'm offering that to you. Now, if you're going to sue me, send me a waiver of service. And if you do sue me and then you use Twiggy after I offered that to you, then I know you're doing it for YouTube optics, and that will be used against you in court too. I will use every tactic of harassment against you. And with the mountain, or like I said on a GLM stream last night, with 100 mountains of evidence I have on you, it's not going to take a rocket scientist of a judge to show your pattern of ongoing harassment and defamation and all that. It's really sad that you've staked your relevancy onto YouTube and solely on continuing the harassment and defamation game on me, because that's what your audience wants in order to stick around so you feel relevant. You know, you may feel relevant at times over this, but you know you're really not. You know that this is not real content. You know that this is harassment. It's basically riding someone else's coattails, right? Here's the thing, ma'am. Let me see. One, her audience is bored with her. They feel sorry for her. It will never happen. Right. You're right, Tia. Here's the thing, ma'am. All I'm doing is stating what I see as my opinion. And you're on thin ice with YouTube and with Rumble. You are literally one step away from termination on both platforms. Because I'm sure other people have flagged you in the past, right? You're also circumventing a former YouTube ban, right? And you were taken down in the middle of a stream for copyright. That's the worst copyright you can get, is live streaming a large amount of copyrighted content. When YouTube takes something down that's actively live, that's a serious offense. It triggers internal review. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if at some point you don't have a channel. And here's the thing, if you want to sue me for taking down your channel because I asserted my copyrights on you, I would love to go to court with you, because then it'll show the judge what type of person you are, and you have no legal aspect to stand on. You don't. You don't. You're on thin ice. Yet you're still trying to take other people down, and you're still fighting for relevancy on this platform, and you're trying to use some innocent man here, myself, in the San Francisco Bay Area to try to maintain your relevancy. How pathetic is that? How pathetic is that? You know that's the truth. You're not going to say that to your audience. I will, and they know it. And they probably think you're pathetic too, right? My advice to you, ma'am, is I would, again, like I told you last night on GLM's stream, I know you were watching, obviously. My advice to you is to back off. If you want to talk about me, talk about me. Don't defame me, and don't use large portions of my content. Use a small portion, 1 or 2 minutes, and that's that. But if you're going to run a live stream and fill in 3 hours of your live stream with one of my videos, that's not fair use. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it, right? So if your channel goes down and you sue for that, then I will countersue you. And trust me, it's not going to be good. And here's the thing, ma'am. You know, whether you admit it or not, my filings are much cleaner and better than the defendants and yours. I also know how to use ChatGPT better than you folks do, because I don't output my court documents using ChatGPT. I do them manually with information that I generate in many different ways. So here's the thing. My court filings are attorney professional level. And filing in the federal court is similar. It's a similar complaint process, just like it is in state court. So I've learned a lot from this case. And look, I'm ready to go to court regarding anything with anyone. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'll represent myself pro se, and that'll be all good. I'll represent myself pro se, and that's good. No problem. So my advice to you is to just walk away, back off. If you don't back off, I'm not going to let off. I'm going to continue to protect my channel. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told the defendant earlier this year when you still hated him and he hated you. Before you two got back together, because you two had a major fight a year or so ago, over a year ago. You two had a major fight like a year and a half ago or so. There's still a video about it. If you don't back off, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told him. If you don't back off, I'm going to continue to assert my copyrights. I'm going to continue to assert every civil and copyright I have. And foremost, more than likely, when I'm ready to file in federal court, whether I file in court or not, I will be filing more DMCA copyright takedowns. And then we will file one case in federal court with all the links. Your channel will be terminated, and you won't be able to reinstate them with a counter notification because you'll be in court. Now, if what I'm saying here triggers you to want to do it more, then do it and see what happens. I'm coming out here as a warning that I will use this video in any court of law. I will use this video in any court of law as my warning, because everyone knows you watch all my videos. You have an obsession with watching my videos. You have an obsession with making content on me. Your identity involves around my name and likeness. And I'm asserting my rights over it. So you either back off, move on, or whatever you saw this week. This is not a threat. This is a promise. This is me asserting my legal rights using platform tools and using the court of law if necessary. Either stop, move on, or this week will be tame compared to what happens next legally and otherwise, meaning platform enforcement. Everything I do is above board and legal. It's a warning. It's my warning to you before it gets worse for you through legal enforcement by me and platform enforcement by me. I'm not messing around. And also understand, I've got a registered trademark on the GNA, and I'm getting ready to enforce my trademark rights, right? Now, you no longer run the business, so guess what? Guess what? You put my logo out there, then I can enforce my rights on that, and I will. And if you want to sue me for that, I'd be happy to tell the entire story of everything you've done to harass me, to bully me. You've attacked my lady. You've defamed me. You've amplified defamation and acting in concert with the defendant in the case I'm in right now. I'm ready to go to court with you. And I'm not backing down legally. So, either file the case or just stop talking about it and move on. I just stop talking about everything and move on regardless. Here's the thing. You want to joke around with sock accounts? Okay, here's the thing. The more you people joke around with sock accounts, the more you encourage me to assert stronger enforcement that I have a right to assert. So keep playing and see what happens next. Because again, I expect this woman to sue me. I expect her to sue me. I'm looking forward to her suing me. So I'm going to protect my channels. And if her channel or channels are violating the terms of service or copyright, then I will do what I have to do. And consider this a generous warning. Wow, somebody's really triggered, huh? I'm cool and calm. Put a 1 in the chat if you folks feel I'm cool and calm, or put a 2 if you think I'm triggered. Put a 1 if you think I'm cool and calm. Put a 2 if you think I'm triggered, because I feel pretty cool and calm. My lady says 1. Tia says a million ones. I'm really chill right now. It's actually 50 degrees, so I'm super chill. That's like GLM goes, I thought I saw GLM here. Thank you, Don and Eli, for swinging by. It was a good time. Yeah, it was. I already downloaded the copy. So did the other woman in Florida, GLM. So if you ever want to remove that, that's on you. I don't think anything was really bad. I don't think it violates any terms of service. But yeah, we appreciate you. It was a good show last night. And even Don stayed on for 3.5 hours. Don was having a good time. Despite what the Florida woman, is trying to spin, Here's the thing to the lady in Florida. All you're doing is the same thing that the guy I'm suing has done. You're just taking what I say at face value or what I do at face value, and you tell your audience the complete opposite, whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter. You spin the opposite story because that's what you have to do to keep your audience around. Right? You feed ChatGPT a bunch of nonsense, so it spits out a script for you to read in your videos. Your videos have become so pathetic, in my opinion, that you're scripting them through ChatGPT, and it's so obvious, right? Even Don was saying that we were listening on the way back from running some errands, and Don's like, that's ChatGPT. Oh, that's 1,000,000% ChatGPT, baby. And it's a poor use of ChatGPT. A really poor use of ChatGPT, right? Now, it's interesting. I'll take the last part of the show here to mention that other people in the defendant's group are staying quiet, including the defendant. It's just this one woman from Florida. She can't stay quiet. Like, she needs constant attention and validation, because if not, she goes crazy, right? Right? She needs to keep her mind off of her loneliness and misery, right? But the defendant put out a YouTube short regarding the January 9th supposed court date. That's a placeholder until the judge and the judicial assistant figure out what's going to happen regarding the motion to dismiss / anti-slap. And both the defendant and this other woman that he works in concert with are still trying to play off that date. Hey, it's still on the calendar. Yeah, it's still there. It's a placeholder. It's going to stay there until Judge Stacy decides what she wants to do regarding this hearing. Whatever Judge Stacy decides will happen, right? And that's that. How much more can you folks play that? You play it because you have nothing else to play. People are, you're basically boring your own audience. You're basically, you're losing your own audience by repeating the same dumb things that even your audience knows is dumb, right? Your audience is here now watching me. They're more so watching me now than watching you, because they're like, wow, Elias really flipped the script. Yeah. And when the script gets flipped, that's when this woman quadruples down, because she's put her whole entire life's identity on YouTube and this one YouTube audience that hates me. She's put her entire identity, she's built her entire identity around that. Boy, someone's triggered. Someone's really triggered. I'm not even reading the trolling comments. I don't know. Maybe it's Louisiana man. Maybe it's the Florida woman. She trolls too. I've heard she trolls. It's my opinion. Right? Please hit the thumbs up. It's much appreciated, says Tia. Thank you, Tia. You're right, Carl Jr. You're right. They are. Yeah, they are they're very special in a certain way over there, you know. We'll put it that way. Wow. Continue to amp it up. Continue to amp it up and see what happens. You know, ma'am, like you and your buddy that I'm suing, you both live in the state of Florida. You and your buddy that I'm suing like to always say FAFO, right? Well, you don't like the fact that the FAFO has been flipped onto you, right? And you don't have to accept my FAFO or agree with it, right? But here's the thing. My FAFO is going to stick because, simply put, when you violate copyright or you violate community guidelines or terms of service, there's only one thing that can happen, right? And I'm coming out here trying to be a real nice guy, even to you, and give you one last chance to back off before it really starts to, before the enforcement actions to protect myself really start to increase. And that's not a threat, that's my right. You can't sit there and say I'm threatening you over something that I have rights to enforce. Just like you have rights to enforce too. The difference is I don't violate your rights, ma'am. You constantly violate mine. So this is not a threat, it's a promise. I'll be further asserting any of my legal rights if you continue to amp it up. The more you amp it up, the more I'm going to assert my legal rights. Platform tools, copyright, community guidelines, terms of service. Heck, you know, there's a lot of stuff. My prediction is going to be that this woman is going to lose her YouTube channel. I'd probably say by sometime in January at the latest. Could be sooner, but YouTube takes a while to do internal reviews, right? My prediction is she's going to lose her Rumble channel by that time too. Now, she will circumvent. Now, here's the thing, ma'am. If you come back and you circumvent, you know there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be, you know, rightfully reporting that to YouTube. And all you're going to be doing is, even though you're technically circumventing right now, you're still technically circumventing. But if you get shut down again, that's double circumvention. Like, that's going to be hard to come back from, especially with a monetized channel. Hey, Lewis, how you doing? She's a band evader, yeah. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier on how I have reason to believe, in my opinion, she's the one that that flagged ODN's secondary channel. 2 of his videos were taken down. 1, he got reinstated. The other one stuck. So, you know, she's, in my opinion, she's out there. Look at the you have over there. They have nothing in common and are, well, you want me to say that so you can flag it, right? You see, this is exactly what she does. She either trolls or gets someone to troll, and she basically tries to get you to say key things on camera in the video so she can timestamp flag them. It's not going to work with me, ma'am. It's not going to work with me, ma'am. You're not going to sit there and have sock accounts say things in the chat and then be ready to flag them once the stream ends with a specific timestamp, and then you write it in the description box from your laptop or desktop. It's not gonna work, ma'am. Because I know what I can and can't say. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. Um, she's really fighting for the relevancy. She sees the optics on YouTube changing, and she's trying to hold on to something that should have never ever lasted this long in the first place, right? Yeah, and I don't know why she hasn't tried to serve you yet. Maybe she knows she has no case. Maybe she filed that purely for YouTube optics, right? And if she files a case on me, I'll make the court aware of where I'm at. She files lawsuits on YouTubers for content, Your Honor, and I'll prove it to you here. This case has no merit. Like I'm a good human being here. We had a business dispute. She sued me over something that was a technicality because I didn't have a business license. She filed a business license in my area with my same name and tried to steal my business. And then because she duplicated my business logo and I filed an impersonation report on her and they shut down her channel, she sued me for wrongful termination. And I settled the case, Your Honor, because I just wanted to get her off my back. This woman is not easy to work with, Your Honor. This woman, likes to play the system. That's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. And yeah, ma'am, you are a system player. You play the system. You play people, right? What you're doing right now to me is a game. It's completely a game. And it's been exposed through my court case with your supposed friend that creates content out here as well that lives in the same state as you do, right? In Florida, right? Your game and his game and your entire group's game is being exposed in real time through this court case and my filings. And yeah, mark my words, when we enter discovery, whenever that may be, you will be deposed. I believe I have to pay you $5. It's a Florida law, and the deposition will be by video. But I believe I still have to pay $5 even to somebody by video. I'll give you $5. I don't care. Deposing you is going to be worth more than $5. I'll tell you that. Because you'll be deposed under penalty of perjury for. Let me give you a clue here. I'm going to give you a little clue because I'm gonna give you a little forewarning of what's going to be coming. Wow, I didn't even realize that. That's a bump there for power. Luckily, I caught myself. I'm going to give you a little clue. Part of your deposition will be regarding your counter notification. And there is relevancy regarding what happened with your counter notification regarding the current case between myself and your friend, the other person in Florida. There's relevancy there. The relevancy is you folks are acting in concert. And the relevancy is also something else that you're going to find out soon, but you'll be deposed under penalty of perjury to answer questions about your counter notification and how you're saying that your use was 100% transformative, which it was not. You used large portions of my video. You used large portions or you use the entire portion of the defendant's video, and that video, even if the defendant gives you permission to use that video, then in essence he's giving you permission to play the defamatory video, right? Either way, we're going to depose you on that, right? We're going to depose you on that, right? Let's see how that happens, right? In the meantime, keep threatening to file lawsuits. File one and serve me, and I'll accept service with a waiver of service. You don't even have to send a process server. Send me a waiver of service, and I'll just sign it and send it back to you. I'll serve myself. Threaten to sue me, serve me with an actual suit, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. I'm really beginning to believe that that Florida woman is trolling me because she's using titles of the videos that she put out. Unless she's working with Louisiana Man, I don't think so. Maybe Louisiana Man has backed off. I'm thinking that maybe the Florida woman is trolling and she's figured out a way how to get a ton of YouTube accounts. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not accusing you of that, ma'am. If you want to sue me and say I'm accusing you for that, I don't care. You can sue me for whatever you want, ma'am. I'm going to countersue you. Any lawsuit that you sue me in, I welcome, because I'm ready to countersue you with 100 mountains of evidence. So, I mean, if you don't sue me, no big deal. We just go on. And I may end up suing you for copyright. But regarding stuff you're threatening to sue me on as just because you need YouTube optics and you're losing the YouTube optics war, yeah, do it. I'm ready because, again, you'll be doing me the biggest favor. I'll be able to file a countersuit on a case that you've already initiated, which makes it a lot easier than me initiating a case, right? You can initiate it, do all the hard work, and I'll just file a countersuit. Yeah, and then we can open you up to this. You'll be open to discovery, right? Depending on what you sue me on, right? You just know this, for me, all I would be suing you for is a protective order. That's all. That's all I'd be suing you for is a protective order. Now, if it's small claims, you can't do a protective order there. But at that point, what I would do is I would say, hey, I want to file a countersuit that is not appropriate for small claims court. We need to change the venue to a full-blown civil case. At that point, that's what I would do. I welcome your lawsuit. It's all for YouTube optics. Nothing less, nothing more, right? Anything she files now is going to hurt her more than help her because she knows the evidence I have on her. She knows. Your counter notification, just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. With what you wrote in there, you contradicted yourself. You didn't even mention specifically why it's fair use. Because it's not fair use. You have no argument. You didn't mention how much of the content you used that wasn't yours, because you know that you went down for infringement properly. You used the defendant's video without any commentary. You did occasional commentary on my video, but you used a large portion of my video and stretched it out to like 2 hours of content. Right? That's not fair use. You know, I really hope, I'm going to wrap up by saying this, and Dave, start getting your quote in, please. I really hope that other people that have been on the fence or have been supporting this group of people over this nonsense, I really hope you're beginning to see what's really happening here. The time to move on is now. The time to invest your time doing bigger and better things is now. Because I'll tell you this, if she continues to amp things up, again, I'm going to continue enforcing my rights, and I'm going to enforce my rights even more so than I already have. That is your warning. I don't care if it triggers you. I don't care if it gets you to react in the way that you're going to feel sorry down the road. You react, you keep doing things, I'm going to keep taking action, and the action is going to continue to increase. I think it would be funny if somebody you think it would be funny if her neighbors knew about her YouTube activity? What about the cops that have been to her place too, if they knew about her YouTube activity, right? This woman accused me of making a wellness call on her that was admitted by ODN that he made. She told the cops in the video, I have a video. I'm going to use that against her in court. You told the police, I know who did it. It's Elias Melas. Elias Melas from California, Redwood City, California, right? When you knew it wasn't me. Right? You accused me of that with no proof. Right? I've got that video thanks to, I think Louisiana Man got that. Louisiana Man is Sharoma. He had put that video on a Sharoma account because I wanted to download it, and then he had put it on a Sharoma account, and I got it. In my eyes, this woman accuses me of everything by default. Right? By default, I'm wrong just for living, right? In her eyes, I'm wrong just for living, right? I'm really beginning to believe those sock accounts are the Florida woman. I don't even think it's Louisiana Man anymore. It could be. But I'll tell you what. We're going to find out. We're going to subpoena those sock accounts. We're going to find out all of the IP activity once we hit discovery. But even if we don't get all the information, right? We know more than likely it's her. We know she has all the time in the world to play around on YouTube, especially after hours, and now, she's got a whole month off, like she said. The best revenge is to become everything they thought you couldn't. Have a great Saturday night. That is the best one yet, babe. The best revenge is to become everything they thought you couldn't. Have a great Saturday night. That was perfectly said. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Again, hit the thumbs up if you wish and enjoy your evening. I like that, Don, says Tia. You're probably right, Carl's Jr. You're probably right. Got a lot of love for all of you. 70 minutes, an hour, and 10 minutes, 48 in the box. I'm telling you, ma'am, I know you're watching, and you're just going to keep amping it up because you cannot emotionally let it go. If you have enough emotional self-control to let it go and move on, then show that or prove to us that you lack extreme emotional self-control. Prove to us, right? So, yeah, I'll tell you what. You want to keep amping it up? I'm going to keep asserting my legal rights. And I'm going to continue to further asserting my legal rights at a stronger level. The more you amp it up, the stronger I'm going to assert my legal rights. I'm not going to threaten you. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm going to continue to assert my legal rights on platforms and with the courts and with the law. My suggestion is back off now before everything implodes further than it already has. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.